My name is Ali Bouvard, and I'm from Saugeen First Nation, located on Treaty 1 territory. And I'm the assistant curator at the Bill Reid Gallery here, and I'm also the curator of this exhibition. I'm thrilled to welcome you all, both in person and virtually, to the opening of Beaded Nostalgia, a group exhibition featuring the works of Audie Murray, Hazel Wilson, Nico Williams, and Serena Steel. On display here at the Bill Reid Gallery of Northwest Coast Art from May 18th until October 23rd of this year. I would like to acknowledge that the Bill Reid Gallery is located on the unceded and ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. And we're so thankful that we're able to do our work on these beautiful territories. We're so pleased to welcome Vanessa today, Vanessa Campbell from the Musqueam Nation, to do a territorial welcome. So I would like to turn it over to Vanessa.
No, please. It is fine.
Vanessa Quenisqui I Talitsen Matthew. I Tanash Parliament Quetski Quetsnala. I Secwepemc I Tanash Mathimat Pebble. Tish Amits Test Community. Two Tish Oliverts Tish Quamich. Seville with Touch Stale. I tap guys to follow I tap. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Campbell, and I'm from Musqueam. And it's my honor to stand with you here in person and virtually to welcome you to the shared territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people. I am a beader myself, and it is such a pleasure to be amongst the great work of all of these artists, and thank you so much for having us. Great job, everyone.
Thank you. So I guess now we'll get the artists to speak. So we have the work in person here. We have Audie, Nico, and Serena, and we also have Hazel's family speaking on her behalf. So we'll turn it over to Nico and let him speak for a little bit, and then he'll talk about his work.
Okay, yep, sure. Hi, everybody. It's so lovely to be joining you virtually and in real life. Like, this is so great to be finally here, surrounded by all this incredible work, and like on the wall over there to see 50 bead artists from Instagram be showing in the same space with us all here, and to be surrounded by all this community. And a lot of the things with beadwork is there is a huge community behind it, and carrying on those traditions. So when I was invited to be a part of this exhibition, it was an honor to reflect and create works that really would be able to represent communities and have a dialogue with nostalgia, and be able to connect and carry on traditions and inspire people and get people excited to just continue beading, And so one of the first works that we had made a year ago was a J cloth, and it was presented at Will Abel's space, and this is the third J cloth. And this was a little more experimental. We beaded a full-size J cloth, and it's called Bang On Man. And this was a little scary because we sort of experimented around in the studio a bit, and then I got out the oil paint, and then we just did it. I wanted to really see how we would be able to push boundaries with beadwork, and I think other artists in this space are responding that way. Even with the earrings on the wall, there's these responses to sort of Pepsi cans or florals of the ancestors. So there's great to see all this vibrant and colorful, sparkling material throughout the gallery. And then over here we have the hyper blanket, and this was a work that had started in 2018, and it sort of grew and grew, and it continues to grow. And in 2019, I put it on hold because, you know, it takes a while to make tiny little patterns, you know, with even the works there on the wall. But it's going to continue to grow, and like you get to see sort of this like connected movement throughout it. And then for the other work on the side here is the Fry Bread series, and it's a 2020 to 2022 sort of series. And I just focused on, you know, ingredients that were in the Quajigan or fry bread. And, you know, it was all sort of different material, like different ingredients, but these were the ones that I could have access to in Quebec. And the salt actually shifted because it was just like Citgo was there, like in the grocery at the time. I was like, okay, well, there's no more Windsor old school boxes. So that's like sort of like a new sort of take on one of the works. And then the main work that I had wanted to present here at the exhibition is called O Canada, and it is a fully beaded fold-out chair with Anishinaabe beadwork patterns underneath it on the surface, and you have this nostalgic chair that you could see, you know, when you're going out to Indigenous lands and territories, when people are going out on vacation to those spaces, you know, they fold up these chairs and then they'll go sit by the water or the campfire. So I wanted to bring Indigenous patterns to really like highlight that. And it's on top of a star blanket that's made of tarp. And this was done by, I contracted it out to Justin Conwood in New Mexico. And it's just to sort of look at, you know, housing and living on the territory for Indigenous communities. And these are the works that I have brought into the space here, and it's very lovely to be sharing these creations with all of you. Yes. Marlene Hale with me. We met at the beading table in Jajage, and we have been beading together for so long. And she is a community activist and chef from Wet'suwet'en. So when I was coming out to be invited in these territories, I was like, oh, I'm going out there, you know, and you're there. And I think, you know, beading, even with all the artists in the space, it's just so great to be able to, you know, the power.
Yes.
And you know, all those beaters like sitting around the table. So this is great to have it, you know.
From Monday night.
Yeah.
To the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Hello, everybody, and the virtual world. Skyze, Denise, Zakoze. Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests, my name is Marlene Hale, and I am from the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Let's give it to the Wet'suwet'en Nation. Happy Masai, and thank you for having me and giving me the honor to speak at this most beautiful gallery of Bill Reed. And I want to honor all of the beaders and all the tonight and all the people who have put on this miraculous, beautiful show. And to all the 50 beaders who've done those incredible earrings on the wall behind us, my goodness. Beading is partial to me like Bannock is. And with Bannock, I always say never panic because there's always Bannock. And with beading, it's just pretty much the same way. We have just, our hands are always idling, especially through the last little while. Our nostalgia, like you were saying with this chair, Nico, it goes so back in time memorial to all of our ancestors, to the Kukums, to my mother, my grandparents, everybody who in the past have taught us all to bead. And hides at that time, where the materials have changed, the styles have changed, the beads have changed. People have got beads all over the world. You've been to Austria to get them. You've been to many parts of the world to get your beads. You beaded in Toronto for the Children's Hospital. I followed you. We started from around the kitchen, around the table in Montreal, just beading every Monday night. We have been to Nico's workshops, many of them with delicas. And I was probably one of his worst ones with delicas, trying to figure that out. I'm a 15-point beader. I do the smallest beads ever. I'm really attacked by them. And I love them. They're in every suitcase. And the beading goes with everyone. So what you see, the cultures change all across the lands. The beading doesn't change. You can see the same kukum style, the styles of my ancestors, your ancestors, and people all around have got something similar. But you're just getting, you put so much behind all the thought of what you're doing. Bannock is there. All the ingredients is over there. To wash the table is over there. And that is so beautiful. And your abstracts, the thought of everything that you have done. The beaders have worked with you. Sam, the most amazing. And Eden. Eden, I know you've all from Montreal, and we've been doing many things in -30. Now it's a little different on the West Coast. Nice to see everybody up here on the West Coast coming from Montreal and doing what we do in Montreal. And Nico is not just a beader, he's a master beader. And this is what master beaters do. And he qualifies definitely as a master beater. I'm a beater. There's a big difference. You have earned that title. And you can see by earning that title, this is what you portrayed. I am so proud of you and each and every one of you. And who've all brought this in. Thank you for listening. It's like,
Audie, you could speak to your work. Sure.
Okay, hi everyone, in person and virtually. My name's Audie Murray. I'm Métis from Saskatchewan. My mom's side of the family is from a little community called LeBret, which is southern Saskatchewan. And then my dad's side of the family is from Meadow Lake, which is more mid-province, where the boreal forest begins. And I want to say thanks to all the staff here today and the fellow artists, because it means a lot to be able to show alongside other contemporary beadworkers and Indigenous artists. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this work and what inspired it, and then I'll share a little bit more of a fun story about the artwork, because I feel like I'm always kind of saying the same thing over and over again. So this is a body of work that I started in 2017, and it's kind of continuously being added to. So in about 2015, 2016, I started using beadwork in my art practice when I started taking my art practice more seriously. And the reason for this is because I really wanted to develop my practice in relationship to my identity and my role in the world. So at that time, I was really focused on the reality that I am like a visibly Indigenous woman. And because of that, using materials were really important to kind of push that language forward. So using beadwork in my practice was something that was really intuitive and really makes sense. So with this body of work, I was also kind of questioning what's important in everyday life. So those things that are banal, like we see them every day and we kind of don't think twice about them, but that do bring us a sense of comfort, a sense of importance. And so things like gloves, and specifically utilitarian gloves, like workers' gloves or gardening gloves, have two purposes. One of them is to kind of represent the labor that we do as people and artists, and how our hands are very much like conduits of energy. And I think most of us can kind of relate to that, especially those who do beadwork, by understanding that our hands are really what are connecting us to those artworks. And then the pair of socks, I was really focused on the feet and how that oftentimes is what connects us to the ground and the earth. And then the toilet paper is supposed to be humorous, but also like exists in a way where it's purposely ephemeral as well. So the toilet paper work, eventually it will degrade and fall apart, and that's part of the artwork. Yeah, and so all of these pieces you see here have been worn and we're at the end of their life. And so by beading them, I'm kind of questioning, does beadwork elevate these kind of everyday objects that could be seen as like at the end of their life or as like garbage? Or does the fact that I'm beading everyday objects sort of diminish the value of beadwork? And I mean, like, it's not a question to be answered, but it's just one of those things that I'm kind of continuously reflecting on as I make. So this is a newer piece. I just finished it like this weekend. And it's the bearberry plant. So this is like more of an actual realization of what the plant looks like. And then this is an imagined berry based on a Norvell Morrisseau painting. And I'm just going to share a little story about the toilet paper, because I kind of made this as a little bit of a flex to see if I could like do beadwork on toilet paper. But also I really chose the colors because they reminded me of my grandma's bathroom in Meadow Lake. So my grandma had like a fully pink bathroom with like everything. And I thought it was just like so, I was obsessed with it when I was younger, and it's kind of just like a little family joke. So that's why I picked this color pink for the toilet paper. And yeah, like for everyone that's here today, feel free to come say hi or ask any questions you have about my work. And thanks for being here today. We're gonna go to Serena's work. People in this question in the corner. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Serena Steel. I'm a Secwepemc artist from Simcoe First Nation. I was born and grew up in Barrier, BC, but I'm currently living in New Westminster. I like literally last week just graduated from Emily Carr University with my Bachelor of Fine Arts. And while I was there, I did a major in critical and cultural practices, as well as a minor in social practice and community engagement. And really quickly, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here in person. It's so great to like be together with people again, as well as everyone logged in online. So I'll just chat a little bit about myself and then maybe about my pieces a bit. So when I first started my sort of professional art practice, I worked a lot in like ceramics and print, as well as a bit of bookbinding. But it wasn't until about 3 years ago when I was visiting home for the holidays where I was sort of just like dang, I didn't bring anything. Like, I really want to make something. And was digging through all of my mom's like bins and bins and bins of craft stuff because she's an artist too. And like pulled out all of these beads. She's always had like this incredible collection of beads while I was growing up. And I just was kind of remembering like being young and her teaching me how to bead for the first time and make earrings and make these little beaded spiders. And I was just sort of remembering how like great it felt to sit down around a kitchen table and be together with people and be together. And that was kind of like where I made my huge pivot from not really being focused in anything to like diving straight into beadwork and fully committing to it. And I really like beading. I think for the same reason a lot of people like beading is that there's just such a great community aspect to it. And it's such a welcoming place. And so many people are so generous with their knowledge. And it's just like a great place to meet new people. And so a lot of my work is centered around sort of these themes of family and community and belonging, especially this sort of a small collection of work here. I was really focused on thinking about the people I belong to, the places I belong to, the land I belong to, and the responsibilities that come with all those things, and sort of the importance of that responsibility to me. So these three pieces here are lino prints I did based on a photo of my grandparents. And I just picked that photo because they're like wearing matching jackets and matching coffee cups. And I just thought they were so cute. And since a lot of my work sort of is focused on my family, I was just really remembering and thinking about all these times I spent at my grandparents' house. And they would sit on the porch swing and I would just run around their yard and collect all these clovers. And whenever I'd find a 4-leaf clover, I would run up and bring it to them. And they would go like, ooh, ah, and sort of like fawn over my discovery. So I was sort of just thinking about the ways that I've carried those like little moments into my adult life. And then this little beaded piece here is sort of just a reminiscing on waking up at my mom's house on the reserve. And I used to always like fling the doors open and let in all the fresh air. But one day before I flung the doors open, I heard like this horn blaring outside and I was like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? And then I like just about opened the door and instead I peeked out the window and there's this big bear like right by our lilac bushes, like by our porch. And I was like, oh my God. And that sort of like stuck with me. Like whenever I'm home, I'll like peek outside now before I go outside, and sort of just like all these little things. And I'll move so you can get this one. And then my sort of big piece here, again, is just thinking about, again, what it means to belong to the people I belong to. The portraits there are my grandmother, my mom, and then my grandpa. And working through that was a really great way to really think about how intentional I was being with my work and trying to only put like the good energy I was feeling into my piece, especially because that's what I learned, learning how to bead, but also it was just so special because it was like my family spaces. And then finally, like recently I've been really interested in storytelling and writing. So I have a big text piece on the wall that sort of dives into all these little moments in my life that kind of just really solidify this theme I'm working around. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be here. It's so cool to be here with the other artists who I've been like following their work on social media for however many years, and getting to exhibit next to them is just such a pleasure, as well as working with Alia because this is her first show as well. So we've had a lot of firsts together. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for being here. And if you have any questions or want to chat, like I'm around. I'm nice. Come say hi to me.
Hazel's daughter here on behalf of Hazel, and she'll speak a little bit about her work.
Hi, my name is Kunjani, My given name is Dana. I'm the second youngest of 10. And this is the baby of the family, Secwepemc, and her given name is Avis. Our mom passed away in 2016. 6 years ago, May 6th. So like this day has been a little tender for us. We've been anxious for it because we grew up with this. This is, you can't explain what you grew up with because you live with it and it's normal. And having it being normal and asked to explain it is a little bit difficult, but in hindsight of my mom's life, our mom's life, she had given me the responsibility to tell all of you about her and who she is. Her work, this was always incredible to me because our mom's work had evolved from traditional Haida blankets to this. This is Kikayas and the golden spruce. And getting these bees was a labor here in Vancouver. And there were times we were looking everywhere, all over, from Mission and Hope, you name it, we looked just for the gold beads. Because all of a sudden it seemed like they're sold out. And it's that one bead you need. And these for us, for her, it was the bugle beads. The seed bead wasn't a problem, but it was the bugle beads for her. And when she got it, we just sat down, we had coffee. She said, I'm hungry, let's go eat. But for her blankets, for us, it's normal for her to do this, but I always enjoyed watching my mom do her work because it is one of the few times in her life that I can see her breathe, where it was home here in this world to see her work on it because she did it effortlessly. She didn't do it without a second thought. She never guessed on anything. She already knew this is what I'm going to do. So each stitch has been purposeful. And as we grew up with, every work that you see of hers, no matter where you are, there's prayers over them. We're taught to pray over everything. Everything we're working with, the needles, the beads, everything is prayed over before we touch it. And then there's a final prayer at the end because this doesn't belong to us. This work, and I find it incredible, and I'm happy to have my mom's work for all of you to see because, again, this month has been tender for my sister and I. We were her babies, and and she treated us as her babies, and we miss her a lot. But I hope you enjoy her work. You know, like every stitch here has been purposeful, so that she can share with you a huge part of who we are, which is Kikayas, which is the golden spruce. And I'm just happy to see her work. She's taught me how to make blankets, so when I see her work, I literally touch it because you feel the energy. You feel that energy from the work. And you can feel it. And I know where she restitched. I know where she started each one just by touching it. Because I grew up with her doing this my whole life. But thank you for being here, for having her a part of this exhibition. I appreciate it. It means a lot to my sister and I. That's it. I was also a speaker for our family I did all the talking and everything. And I just asked my sister, I said, I'm not going up there alone because it's been so long since I've done any speaking. And I'm just sweating like crazy because I'm like so nervous. I'm trying to be chill, but I'm not. So thank you.
So Beaded Nostalgia explores the use of contemporary beadwork as a connection to the past, to our homes and homelands, and to our memories. So the artists featured in this exhibition are using their innovative beadwork to express feelings of nostalgia and connections to their own experiences. It's a celebration of beadwork and of how beadwork is being reshaped and reimagined. Traditionally, beadwork is seen on personal adornment and regalia, but artists today are really expanding what that means and what it is possible to create with beads while also acknowledging our connections to our own personal experiences. So not only does this exhibition feature the work of the 4 artists, but it also features the work of 50 beadwork artists from across Canada and the US. So there is now a growing online presence of artists who are sharing their work through social media, specifically beaded earrings. And this expanding network is building pride and excitement around contemporary Indigenous design and creativity. This exhibition is incredibly special to me. Specifically, this is my first as an emerging curator, but being a beader myself, I felt very passionate about this project. This exhibition has been in the works for about a year now, and I personally am very interested in anything and everything related to beadwork. So I knew immediately that I wanted to focus this show on beading. I'm so grateful that I was able to work with not only the featured artists, but as well as the other 50 artists featured in the earrings wall. And there's so much beauty and talent throughout this exhibition, and I hope you all appreciate it as much as I do. Thank you.
So I'm Beth Carter, I'm the curator here at the gallery, and I just want to congratulate Alia. She is like seeing my baby grow. Speaking of babies, my baby grow up, to see her have such success with this show. It's really beautiful. She's thought through every detail and did such a great job. So I get the last few words here, and I get to thank all of the wonderful people who have helped us make this possible. And I would like to invite Angela Lamb to come forward. We are so thankful to the Blue Shore Financial Group for being our 2022 mezzanine gallery sponsor. So they are sponsoring all the exhibitions that we're presenting on this level of the gallery this year. So please come forward and say a few words, Angela.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's my honor to be here tonight and on behalf of Blue Shore Financial to celebrate the opening of Beaded Nostalgia, situated on the ancestral lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. My name is Angela Lamb, and I'm the General Manager at West Broadway. I'm delighted to be here to celebrate the beauty, the storytelling, and the artistry featured in this exhibit. I would also like to acknowledge the exceptional curation done by Alia Bouvard. Blue Shore is a boutique financial institution, and we're focused on clients' financial well-being. We also have a strong commitment to the well-being of our communities. We believe in supporting arts and culture and celebrating cultural diversity to foster strong and vibrant communities. As presenting sponsor of Beaded Nostalgia and the exclusive mezzanine gallery sponsor, we welcome you to this stunning and important exhibition. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
We do have a few other people and organizations that have supported us, and I'd just like to quickly go through those. Thank you for your patience. The Dumil Foundation actually is the sponsor of our assistant curator position, and so Alia is here with the benefit of the Dumil Foundation. The Hamber Foundation, the Rosedale and Robson, who has been so generous in giving us hotel rooms to support the artists and have them here with us tonight. The Canada Council for the Arts, the BC Arts Council, the Government of BC through BC Gaming, and the City of Vancouver are all our sponsors. And last but not least, as you've already noticed, we believe very strongly in the role of mentorship and the Bill Reed Gallery. Bill Reed was passionate about mentoring and supporting younger artists, and he believed in sharing his knowledge and giving them guidance to follow their own art careers. So we are following in those footsteps here at the gallery, and we bring in lots of interns. Actually, Audie was an intern with us many years ago, and Alia and other young emerging artists and curators. And so we set up the Chifi Dansu James Hart Emerging Artist Program a couple of years ago. And our main supporter for this program is the RBC Emerging Artist Program. So thank you to them as well. So that's it for us. Any final things you want to say, Alia?
Well, I would just like to thank everybody for coming here to join us today. This is so exciting to have all of you in person and online, virtually. But I would also like to thank Letitia Fizakis and the staff at the Fizakis Gallery for helping us. Ellen and Bill Tubman, Peter Malkin, Dahlia Yuen, Rory Garlander, the Marion Scott Gallery, the family of Hazel Wilson, and all of the Bill Reed Gallery staff, board, and volunteers. I'm just so thankful that you're all able to make this exhibition a reality. It's such a great project. I'm so happy. Thank you.
So we'll say farewell to the people online, and we invite everybody to enjoy the exhibit, chat with the artists, and we have some refreshments in the other room. It's like a real